I want you to imagine something for just a second. It's 10 o'clock at night. You're out walking the dog, last time before the entire family settles down for the night. You're about to go to bed. The dog stops, to do his thing, and you glance up just in time to see a very distinct flash of light way up in the night sky. The heck was that? Now, you live in a state directly in the middle of the United States. But what you're not aware of is that two similar flashes of light were also observed by other people. One on the East Coast, high up in the sky, and one in the West. These three flashes of light were strategically placed nuclear explosions. They didn't blow up any cities. They were way up in space, up above the cities. They were detonated 200 miles above the surface of the Earth. In those three locations, they were put there for a very specific reason. You would obviously be well beyond the blast range. You don't feel a shock or a heat wave. There is no fire. But something else has happened. The nuclear explosions instantly begin a reaction between the ionosphere and the Earth's magnetic field. Due to the placement of all three nuclear blasts, only three, a surge of electromagnetic current blankets the entire continental United States. That is all it would take to send the entire country into the Stone Age. All lights, all power, everything that runs on electricity, your car, everything worthless. Food production stops. Water would stop flowing. Medical services would be down. You couldn't call anyone for help. There's no phones that work. Would you be prepared? Now, most people think that's far-fetched, right? There's no way a nuclear power would risk global nuclear war, right? Well, I don't know anymore. Many countries like Russia and China are actually considering an electromagnetic pulse attack, not a nuclear war that vaporizes cities and people, but just that pulse in the sky, the one I just described. They're putting that in a category of electronic and information warfare. It's an EMP, and it is beyond the level of a computer virus. It's not an actual nuclear attack in their eyes. But it's not just adversaries like Russia and China that could do this. North Korea or Iran could put two ships off of the coasts, all still in international waters, and launch them from two boats. Okay, imagine something else. Imagine that Russia suffers a major terrorist attack. Let's say ISIS kills around 60 people, brutally injures over 100 more. Let's say it's very, very public, maybe a concert. Then let's imagine that Putin immediately addresses the nation and says this, quote, "This wrongdoing can only be a link in the chain of attempts of those who since 2014 have been fighting with our country through the hands of the Kyiv neo-Nazi regime." That those have been fighting our countries through the hands of Ukraine. Well, crap, I wonder who he's talking about. I'm having a hard time remembering what was it we were willing to do when we found out that they were complicit with Al-Qaeda for 9/11. Saudi Arabia, we still deny that to this day. We know that the ISIS attack in Russia did happen. We know that Putin did say those things. Thank God it stopped there. But he is blaming us. We were willing to invade Afghanistan. What is it that Russia is willing to do? But I get it. An EMP attack destroying our power grid might sound too extreme. So let me give you another scenario, perhaps more likely to happen. This is a graphic that shows the U.S. electricity that is controlled by three main regional grids: Western, Eastern, and Texas. A study by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission ran a scenario where a coordinated attack on 9 regional substations was all it took to completely knock out the entire grid of the United States. No matter if it's an attack of this nature, just hacking into our power grid, or an EMP attack from our country, like Russia or China, the results are exactly the same. From that same study, quote, the entire United States grid would be down for at least 18 months, probably longer, a year or two, without having trucks to deliver things. No water, no medical services, no communications, nothing. How many survive an attack like that? We know that China and Russia are already hacking into our power grid. They are telling us now they can do this. The United States has an EMP task force, and it estimates that 70 to 90% of the U.S. population would die within the first year. That's the government's estimate. And when you think about it, it actually makes sense. How are you going to get your food? Most people don't even know how food is grown, or that it is grown, or that it comes from an animal or a farm. How many of us have any kind of farming knowledge whatsoever? How many of us in the cities could find and use clean water? How many of us are on heart medication or some sort of medication that is extending our lives? High blood pressure medication. 30 days, you might have a supply for 30 days, but after that, what happens? That's 297.9 million people just in America dead in 12 months. Now let me ask you again, how prepared are you